In a landscape of tablets packed with high-resolution displays and cutting-edge tech, the marquee feature of Amazon's Fire tablets has always been affordability. Each tablet acting as a low-cost vortex, pulling you further into Amazon's prime ecosystem. These plastic slates have always been charming, quirky, and for content consumption, very usable. But one thing the Fire tablets has never been is premium. Well, in 2023, Amazon is setting out to change that with the first Fire tablet that can truly be called a premium device. This is the Fire Max 11. Hey folks, Unboxer of Worlds here, and my channel's been no stranger to the Fire tablet lineup. In fact, they've been some of my most popular videos. This tells me that there is a healthy appetite among consumers for affordable content consumption devices. And while the Fire Max 11's initial US price tag of right around $230 is considerably higher than previous Fire tablets, it is still a competitive price when compared to some other premium tablets on the market. But what does that extra cash get you? Are the new touches of luxury worth the heftier cost? And has any of the charm been lost in the translation from the smiley slates of yore to this more mature tablet? Why don't we take a look? Right away, two things struck me about the Fire Max 11. First, its size. This is far and away the biggest tablet in the Fire family, with a screen sizing in at, you guessed it, 11 inches. But despite that added real estate, the tablet manages to feel pretty light in my hands, weighing in at about a pound and measuring only about as thin as a pencil. I'm still not quite used to the long and narrow aspect ratio Amazon chose to employ this time around, but I certainly find it comfortable to hold. And the second thing I noticed right away? Well, that, my friends, is the build quality. For the first time ever, Amazon has decided to outfit a Fire tablet with an aluminum body. And I've got to say, compared to my Fire HD8, the sudden jump in build materials is very noticeable. I've personally never had an issue with a plastic Fire tablet, but for those out there who want something that looks and feels much more premium, this may finally be the Fire tablet for you. Compared to other high-end tablets, at least from a materials point of view, the Fire finally fits in. And not only is the design sharp, so is that 11-inch screen with a resolution of 2000 by 1200. Video content looks great, and the added sharpness makes reading ebooks a much nicer experience than it was on, say, my Fire HD8. And while we're comparing the two, the bezels are a lot slimmer on the Fire Max 11, while still giving me a comfortable border to hold on to. Oh, and just a quick heads up, if you're using this tablet outside, watch out for reflections, because this screen has a ton of them. Amazon says the Fire Max 11 has strengthened aluminosilicate glass. Well, I have no idea what that means, but yeah, give me that strengthier glass. The screen gets reasonably bright, but you're still going to have a tough time competing with sunlight, so keep that in mind if you're the kind of person who likes to take their tablet outdoors. There's 4 gigs of memory under the hood, along with an octa-core processor. I'm not a power user, but zipping through Fire OS was smooth, and I had no trouble scrolling through websites or using some simple apps. But I couldn't use every app. Fire OS is its own world, which means you won't find the Google Play Store or apps like YouTube on your Fire Max 11, at least not right out of the box. But I find Amazon's operating system to be just fine. It's easy to navigate, and it is purpose-built to make sure you get the most out of the Prime ecosystem. There's easy access to Amazon Shopping and apps like Kindle and Audible. And naturally, there's hands-free access to Amazon's digital assistant, giving you control over your smart home or keeping you company with an impromptu buffalo chicken dip recipe.
For buffalo chicken dip, here's a few recipes.
By the way, folks, if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe to Unboxer of Worlds and hit that like button. And check me out on social media. Anyway, depending on the options you choose at checkout, you can pack your Fire Max 11 with 64 or 128 gigs of storage space. But if that's not enough for you, the device has a micro SD card slot which will take up to a 1 terabyte card. That's a lot of space for photos and apps, and maybe even the occasional video game. I don't usually game on my Fire tablets, but I had an enjoyable time trying to figure out how to play PUBG Mobile for this video. My skills leave a lot to be desired, folks, but at least the tablet pulled its weight. And with built-in Wi-Fi 6, the Fire Max 11 had no trouble keeping me connected. And if your version of staying connected involves making video calls, you will appreciate the 8-megapixel cameras Amazon has placed on both the front and rear of the device, complete with 1080p video recording. There's even autofocus, but unfortunately, that feature is reserved just for the rear camera. And if you want to see some actual footage from the Fire Max 11, here's some video from the rear camera, and here's some video from the front camera. Oh, and the shakiness is not the Fire's fault, folks. I just don't know how to hold a tablet steady, apparently. Amazon claims you can get up to 14 hours of battery life depending on how you use your tablet, and when it comes time to charge up, there's a 9-watt power adapter included in the box. Amazon says that'll get you topped up in under 4.2 hours. In my testing, it was closer to 4.5 hours to get fully charged. Apparently, the Fire Max 11 is also compatible with optional 15-watt adapters, but you're only going to get the 9-watt adapter in the box. Unfortunately, the Fire Max 11's charging capabilities bring us to what I feel is a pretty big omission from this device. There is no wireless charging on the Fire Max 11. That is perplexing to me since previous tablets like the Fire HD 10 Plus and even my Fire HD 8 Plus feature wireless charging. Now given those Plus versions are higher-end models of the aforementioned tablets, but given that the Fire Max 11 is more expensive than any of those, it really irks me that wireless charging is not included. Something else that is not included is a headphone jack. Yeah, I know headphone jacks are something of a rarity these days, but I know I'm not the only one out there who still thinks it's a useful feature. And it's a shame it was lost in the translation to a more premium Fire tablet, especially when it's included on cheaper Fire slates. But I suppose you can use USB-C headphones or an adapter, or just stick with Bluetooth. And if all else fails, the Fire Max 11 features dual speakers with Dolby Atmos. It's not all omissions in Fireland. In fact, Amazon has seen fit to bring something new to the Fire Max 11. For the first time ever, there is a fingerprint sensor on a Fire tablet. After initial setup, I found the fingerprint scanner to be pretty quick, and I'm happy Amazon chose to use a physical scanner embedded in the power button rather than an in-screen solution. For me, there's just something satisfying about a nice physical button. Speaking of clicking buttons, or more accurately pressing keys, Amazon has gone all in with optional accessories for the Fire Max 11. Far and away my favorite of those optional accessories is the keyboard case. It comes in 2 parts, a back that protects your tablet, adds some texture, and has an adjustable stand, and the keyboard itself which attaches magnetically to the bottom of the tablet. Having an actual keyboard is a pretty cool input method for this device. It's also cool to have a trackpad, and apparently you can even do some of those multi-touch gestures, but I don't know how to do any of those, so... Now, if you have large hands like me, the keyboard might feel a little bit cramped, but I still found it to be very usable, and in my opinion, the keys themselves felt pretty good. Oh, hey, it's my dog. She always likes to check in when I'm making these videos. What's up, puppy? Oh, you gonna hang out for a little bit? There's also an active stylus that can be attached to the side of the device magnetically when you're not using it. This isn't that stylus, but you get the idea. Now, I'm no artist, but it is cool that Amazon recognizes that there are Fire users who are going to get a lot of use out of a stylus. Very cool. Continuing a tradition from some previous Fire tablets, there is a slim case available for the Fire Max 11. This is not that case. I don't have the slim case for the new Fire Max 11, so what you're looking at is my old case for my Fire HD 8. But if the new slim case is anything like this one, it'll probably keep your Fire relatively safe and stylish. And unlike the old cases, the new one attaches magnetically. With all these varied input methods, it seems like this may be the first Fire tablet where content creation might be just as important as content consumption. Of course, all those accessories are optional purchases, but there is one option included with the Fire Max 11 that may be a little less pleasant for some folks. Lock screen ads. Now you can do away with those ads by paying a little extra, but in my experience, they're not a deal breaker, and I've left them enabled on all of my Fire devices dating all the way back to the OG Fire tablet from 2011, back when it was called the Kindle Fire. Well, it's 2023 now, and times have changed. And so has the Fire tablet. From its modest plastic beginnings to the aluminum-clad grandeur of the Fire Max 11, it's clear Amazon's line of affordable tablets will continue to evolve, appealing to new consumers with each iteration. And so long as the value proposition is always there, I think these slates will continue to spread like fire. I hope you enjoyed the video, folks. Consider subscribing to Unboxer of Worlds Every view is appreciated and keeps me motivated to produce content like this. We'll catch you later.